I'm back. I had to go live on my phone. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate my new subscribers. Thank y'all so much. I don't know if I can bring somebody up on my phone. I don't know if I can do that or not. But like, share, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. So, I don't know. It's so cold here. I'm so sick of the cold. It is so cold here. And it's snowing. It's snowing. So, you know, when it's like this, you in the house, period. And that's just what that is. All right, well, we just gonna get into it. Oh, no, I don't want that. So, 4 former housewives, it was 4. I thought it was just 2. They filed a lawsuit in May against Smokey Robinson and his wife, Frances, alleging SA, the art raping, and a hostile work environment. The women claimed the abuse occurred over many years, and they initially did not report it due to fear of losing their jobs and affecting their immigration status. So these was undocumented workers. In response, Robinson denied the allegation and filed a $500 million countersuit alleging defamation and extortion. They ain't even got that kind of money. But we do got some updates. 4 days ago. So the trial is set to start January 6th. What a day. They picked January 6th. Now that's something else. 2 more people have accused Robinson of SA and are seeking to join an existing civil lawsuit filed against. So now it's 6. In May it was 4, so 2 more have joined. Wow. Male and female former employees of Smokey Robinson accused him of SA. Ooh, you can't make this up. Hey, therapy. I am surprised because of Smokey Robinson. Don't he seem to be so innocent? And he from Detroit, where I'm from. He was actually friends with my grandma's sister. They went to high school together. Hey, Satellite, what up, what up, what up, official? But did you therapy? It started with 4 women now. 2 more than joined the lawsuit, a male and a female. Hey, Slade, what up? You don't give a damn who, you not surprised. So listen to this. 2 former employees of the soul music star Smokey Robinson, both male and female, have alleged he SA'd them, which he denies. Robinson is already facing similar allegations from 4 other women employees who filed a lawsuit in May. This week, lawyers for the accusers filed a motion to have 2 further accusers added to the lawsuit because he being sued for $50 million. The man who worked as a car valet for Robinson alleges that Robinson fondled himself in front of him and tried to place the man's hand on his genitals. This man damn near 80 years old. What the? He 80 years old. Like the four initial accusers, the women worked as a housekeeper and alleges that Robinson tried to make her touch him while he was showering on numerous occasions. In a statement to Rolling Stone, Robinson lawyer Christopher Frost said the most recent accusers were part of the same group of people who have conspired together against the Robinsons and are laying out their claims for maximal adverse publicity, and called the lawsuit an organized, vicious campaign to extort money from an 85-year-old legend. He 85. Let me view this message. I'm going to show you a message. You say, notice the freak coming out there. He 85. His wife, Frances, is a co-defendant in the original filing and is accused of labor violations using ethnic pejorative words and language and being aware of the alleged SAs. The plaintiffs are seeking $50 million in damage. After the lawsuit was filed, their lawyer Frost called the allegations vile, false, and said they were an ugly method of trying to extort money from Smokey Robinson. Later in May, the Robinson filed a $500 million countersuit. Now, how you gonna file a countersuit knowing these people ain't got a dollar? Why you retract your message on high wet, because I missed it. So he filed a counterclaim for $500 million, alleging defamation and elder abuse, and describing an extorted plan to take everything from him. Right, therapy. They claim they had been generous to the women, giving them gifts and funding dental treatment. Is dental treatment a gift? Well, I guess if you ain't got no teeth, it is. I don't know. Despite the serious allegations, Robinson has continued to perform since, including UK concerts and Love Supreme Jazz Festival and London's Apollo during the summer. He is known for a string of hits with his group The Miracles, followed by 24 albums as a solo artist. I didn't know he did that many albums. He wasn't my favorite. I mean, he wasn't nobody that I like, musically anyway. The most recent, What the World Needs Now, was released in April. He just released another album. Robinson also wrote a string of hits for other artists in the Motown stable, including My Girl and Get Ready for the Temptations. Now, this is the Los Angeles Times. Oh, shit. Well, him and his wife look good. He look good for 85. His wife is pretty. The new accusers allege separate incidents of Smokey Robinson grabbing their hands to touch his genitals while they were working at his Chatsworth home. The singer attorney said the two accusers are part. Okay, that's just basically about the same thing. We about to get into the video, because this is going to be a short video. Where is Smokey? Right here.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. We do want to continue that conversation that we're having with some of these high-profile court proceedings. I want to put this up on your screen, a live look that we have there in Los Angeles. So this is the bombshell news that came out earlier today. Music icon Smokey Robinson has now been accused of sexual abuse by a handful of women, according to this new lawsuit. So we do know that 4 women who allegedly previously worked for the now 85-year-old singer accused Robinson of sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment, among other offenses. This is all according to a complaint that was filed in the Los Angeles County Superior Court. The women who were reportedly employed as housekeepers at Robinson's Los Angeles residence claimed that they were forced to leave their jobs due to the singer's repeated sexual assaults and sexual harassment, adding in that his alleged conduct was willful, wanton, and malicious, with a conscious disregard of their rights, privacy, and feelings. Bringing back into the conversation now, legal analyst Nima Rahmani. Nima, what are we looking at here with these initial filings now made today in Los Angeles Superior Court?
Christina, you said it. Bombshell is right. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I read the complaint.
I couldn't believe it either.
Graphic details of sexual assault. Too graphic to even discuss on TV. But you have 4 individuals who were employed as housekeepers, all Latina women, who are essentially making the same allegations of very serious rape. And that Smokey Robinson would rape them, some of them dozens of times.
I bet you can.
What's really fascinating about this case is really the number of victims who are telling.
I mean, look at the man, 85. I don't remember him ever being in a scandal. Do you?
Same story of sexual violence. When it comes to sexual assault in a he said, she said type situations, it can be tough to prove a case like that because jurors are sometimes skeptical of the testimony of one victim. But when you have victim after victim telling the same story, that can be too much for an accuser to overcome. And of course, these are just allegations. But what we do know, covering sexual assault and sexual abuse cases, is oftentimes abusers abuse more than one victim. It doesn't matter whether it's a Jeff Epstein or a Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein or a Diddy. When these allegations happen, oftentimes others come forward, and here the allegations are very salacious, Christina.
Yeah, I want to put up some video as well that we have there of the singer. I mean, he's had such a long and illustrious career, made one of the biggest impacts on the music landscape here in our country and around the world. But diving a little bit deeper into some of those details as well. Apparently, we would first like to know that Robinson's longtime wife as well, Frances Robinson, has also been named in this lawsuit, with all 4 of those women claiming that the singer's spouse had full knowledge of his prior acts of sexual misconduct.
Now, I do believe his wife knew. She was like, shit, better them than me, I guess.
Failed to take the appropriate corrective action as well. So let's talk about this as far as it involves her as well. Is she going to be dragged into this court case with her now being named? Can she potentially be liable for any of these accusations that have now been made against Smokey?
Christina, she is potentially liable. So let's separate out the sexual assault, I'll call those the personal injury claims, and the employment claims. These were employees, and Mrs. Robinson was their employer. So there are claims here of sexual harassment, a hostile work environment, failure to pay wages, minimum wage, and overtime. So for those claims, Frances Robinson may be liable as the employer. Obviously, the most serious allegations are against Smokey Robinson. And if you read the complaint, he would allegedly assault these women when his wife was not home. She dropped her off at the nail salon, for instance. And the allegations are that then he would rape these women, or he would rape them where there were no cameras, so his wife couldn't see. So that's something that obviously, if you are looking at the liability in case and the damages, obviously a sexual assault claim is worth a lot more than an employment claim. But that doesn't mean those employment claims aren't valid or they aren't serious. The plaintiffs are asking for $50 million. And if they prove that they were raped repeatedly by Smokey Robinson, I wouldn't be surprised if they get into the 8-figure range if this case goes all the way to trial.
I have to ask you, are we going to see criminal charges coming here?
Wow. It's probably too
Yes, that's one of the questions people always ask as well. If the rape happened, why haven't we seen criminal charges?
Fact.
So what I tell folks, and I represent rape victims. That's what I do right now as a former federal prosecutor. I don't do any criminal offense work. I just represent victims like the victims in this case. And, oftentimes victims will go to law enforcement, and law enforcement will present the case to the DA, and the DA chooses not to prosecute. Sometimes prosecutors, they can be soft on crime. We had a former district attorney here in LA County, George Cascon, who had that reputation. Christina, you and I have talked about this at length because he was the one who recommended the resentencing for the Menendez brothers. Maybe, and again, this is just speculation, maybe his office declined to take the case, or maybe that the victims decided to move forward with just civil claims. But I can tell you, I've been in the LA County District Attorney's office many times, meeting with sex prosecutors, trying to convince them to accept these cases for prosecution. And sometimes they don't, because they want what they consider a layup or a slam dunk, and they don't want to take the difficult cases. That's why, if you look at statistics involving rape victims, just a very small percentage of the perpetrators are brought to justice. Many times the victims don't come forward because they don't want to relive that trauma. So some of it is underreporting, but some of it is these cases not being taken seriously by law enforcement or prosecutors.
And as we're talking about this case, we just touched on Diddy extensively, but you mentioned it earlier. Another name that comes to mind, especially when you're considering the age bracket of some of these allegations, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, all facing some of these same allegations. Could any of that be seen as sort of a precedent for how this case may be handled, A? And then B, on the other side, if any criminal charges are filed, it would be shocking almost to see Smokey Robinson spend his last days behind bars if convicted.
Facts.
It would be shocking, but it wouldn't be unprecedented. And like you mentioned, a lot of those cases, they were initiated by civil lawsuits, right? Bill Cosby made admissions during a civil deposition to drugging women, and that's what really resulted in the criminal prosecution. Obviously, we know that Diddy's case was started because Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit. So sometimes it's these civil plaintiffs' lawyers that really initiate this process. They get the information, the evidence, they provide.
Well, sound like shit. Man, that's all I can say. It ain't looking good for old Smokey. And he got a male accuser, too. Oh, I wanted to get back here. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. Yep, and that's the update. The trial began January 6th, and you can believe I'm going to be up on that trial. I am going to watch it. I won't miss it. Then he going to sue.
And now to our other top story, new legal action from Smokey Robinson tonight. The Motown singer has filed his own $500 million countersuit against his rape accusers.
Tonight, the singer's accusers also fighting back. We get more now from NBC4's Karma Dickerson.
Smokey Robinson's hitting back 10 times as hard, demanding $500 million from the women and attorneys who are suing him for $50 million.
We wanted to get his attention.
And get his attention they did. That was John Harris, an attorney for 4 former employees of Smokey and Frances Robinson. The women sued the R&B legend and his wife, alleging years of rape, abuse, and labor violations. But Robinson is suing them back, filing a cross complaint against the women and their attorneys, alleging defamation, conspiracy, and elder abuse. While the accuser's lawsuit describes dozens of instances of rape over nearly 2 decades that they were afraid to report.
These women were all low wage earners, living from paycheck to paycheck. They all feared missing a payday.
The cross complaint claims the women were treated like extended family. Court documents include photos claiming to show the women celebrating and vacationing with and sending warm messages to the Robinsons. According to the cross complaint, the former employees accepted gifts like a car, cash, clothes, and vacations from the Robinsons. The suit alleges during the very time that the Robinsons were being extraordinarily generous with the plaintiffs were concocting an extortionate plan to take everything from the Robinsons. The allegations against the Robinsons are graphic, laid out in this early May press conference, which made headlines worldwide.
After having just showered, he would come out of the adjoining bathroom naked and proceed to force her to have sex with him against her will.
The cross complaint says the accusers turned to the press when their first efforts to get a payout were unsuccessful. According to the court filing, when pre-litigation demands for $100 million or more did not work, plaintiffs created a media circus and made a public spectacle of themselves. In a new statement today, attorneys for Robinson's accusers called the cross complaint nothing more than an attempt to silence and intimidate the survivors of Mr. Robinson's sexual battery and assault. It is a baseless and vindictive legal maneuver designed to re-victimize, shift blame, and discourage others from coming forward. Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
You folks have no idea what honey and cinnamon can do for your brain. I'm 82.
Well, this gonna be real interesting, and this gonna be a quick video. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.